What's going on, everybody? My name is Joe and Alex Draw Cartoons, and with today's video we're going to be talking about the continuation of the 100 cartoon style challenge, which is now up to the 150 cartoon style challenge. For those of you who may not know, last year I challenged myself with drawing myself in 100 different cartoon styles, and I've met that mark and met that goal late last year. And then you guys loved that challenge so much and kept telling me to do more, so I told myself I'm going to get it up to 150 cartoon styles this year. And I started that challenge this year, and so far we're up to the first 15 of the additional 50. So to start out this video, for anyone who may be new here, I do have a bunch of other videos out right now showing the whole process of drawing myself in 100 different cartoon styles, but just a quick little video here. Let's just do a quick little compilation of everything that I've done so far in this 100 cartoon style challenge, and then I'll get into the new 15. Family Guy, Loud House, The Simpsons, Codename Kid Next Door, Bluey, Rick and Morty, South Park, Peanuts, Gravity Falls, Fairly Odd Parents, A Goofy Movie, Studio Ghibli, Invincible, Adventure Time, Phineas and Ferb, 2003 Clone Wars, Powerpuff Girls, Bob's Burgers, Big Mouth, Garfield, SpongeBob, Dogman, Smiling Friends, Lego, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Total Drama Island, Regular Show, Cuphead, Beavis and Butthead, Rugrats, Looney Tunes, King of the Hill, Mighty B, Dr. Seuss, Scooby-Doo, Ed, Edd and Eddy, The Muppets, BoJack Horseman, The Flintstones, Aardman, Amazing World of Gumball, Danny Phantom, Avatar The Last Airbender, Red Bull Commercial, Sonic the Hedgehog, El Tigre, Futurama, Big City Greens, My Life as a Teenage Robot, Calvin and Hobbes, Invader Zim, Dragon Ball Z, Ben 10, Hazbin Hotel, DuckTales, Fish Hooks, Teen Titans, Peppa Pig, Teen Titans Go, The Smurfs, Super Mario, Steven Universe, Angry Birds, How It Should Have Ended, Meat Canyon, Kim Possible, F is for Family, Pokemon, Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Test, Hey Arnold, Transformers, South Park Canadian, a Nintendo Mii from the Wii, My Little Pony, Wow Wow Wubsy, Dora the Explorer, Chowder, Animal Crossing, Doug, Care Bears, Recess, Sanjay and Craig, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Rocco Modern Life, American Dad, Tim Burton, Haunted Hotel, Marvel's What If, Rocket Power, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, X-Men 97, Big Nate, Popeye, Archer, Among Us, Arthur, Classic Disney, Handsome Squidward, and Spider-Verse. So there's the first 100. But now, if you're new to these kind of videos, you haven't seen my videos before, typically what these videos will be like is I'll be going through this list of all these different drawings that I've done and talking about the process of all the little things that I found in like the styles that I chose and how I translate that into my own drawing of myself. I also typically will say that every single drawing is going to have the same, certain features whenever I have a subject, whether it's myself or it's like Jack Black or it's Deadpool or it's a certain character that I'm doing as the subject. There's always a few things that are always going to be included. So I'll have my glasses, I'll have my hair, I'll have this blue shirt right here, and then the overall structure and look of my face. But then as this video continues to go along, I'll be going through every single style and showing you guys every single little thing about the style that makes it unique and how I was able to get to from that style and then translating it into myself. We got 15 more drawings to talk about here, continuing the 100 cartoon style challenge, which is now 150. So let's get into it. But before I do, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Letterboxd. I really want to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram and 50,000 subscribers on YouTube sometime this year. So please make sure to like, comment, share, all that, and show love to these videos. But anyway, let's get into the rest of this video, talk about these 15 new drawings. So to kick off the 150 cartoon style challenge, part 101, the style was Minecraft. Now there's not really much to look at here to say like, oh, where did I get this idea from? Obviously, all Minecraft characters are just squares and everything, all their body parts are squares as well. But I was just, every time I do a style for myself, I always have to look up, whatever show or whatever video game characters with glasses or something like that to find reference so I can actually put myself into that style. Obviously, I was able to add my glasses, I was able to add my hair and the blue shirt. Not really much more to say than that. It's just a Minecraft character with some aspects of myself in there, creating basically my own Minecraft skin to kick off the 150 cartoon style challenge. Now, the next style that I chose is definitely one that I wasn't really expecting to do probably ever throughout this challenge, but I saw it, I had the vision for it, and I went with it. And that's basically just the style of Shrek, turning me into basically an ogre from Shrek. Now, again, this was pretty self-explanatory. Just taking the whole template of Shrek and ogre characters in the Shrek universe, adding like the ears, or however you describe those ears, green skin, adding my glasses, and then even kind of adding like the texture of Shrek's shirt, like the cloth, kind of adding some aspects of that into my shirt. And then also, for some reason, ogres in the Shrek universe typically have like red hair, so I want to add at least a little bit of like an orange or a red hue to my hair rather than just being brown. But all those aspects came together to draw myself basically as an ogre from Shrek. And the next style, part 103, was One Piece. This was another style that was very much highly requested. This is one I had to do a little bit of research on because I'd never seen it personally. And if you are like a huge fan of these projects that I really may not really know much about them when I'm talking about this, please make sure to let me know if I did the style justice in the comments. I really love to know when I actually take a swing at this with something new and I do a good job, or if there's other things I can improve on. I'm also all for some constructive criticism as well. So please make sure to let me know in the comments. But I went off of like the basis of how these characters look. I was definitely looking at Monkey D. Luffy a lot. I was looking at Luffy a lot, trying to find the base for how these characters should look. I went with like the straight on look. And then these characters have like a lot of shadowing. They have like a lot of strong, like pointy features in their hair and then in their body. They have a lot of line work throughout their face and their body as well. And with their eyes, it's also just like a line at the top, line at the bottom, and the white just kind of fills in there, not necessarily with line work. And like I said, there's a lot of shadowing as well. There's a lot of different aspects that I pulled from a bunch of different characters that I saw for reference to turn myself in the style of One Piece. And the next style is another show that I had never heard of before this challenge, but this style has been all over my comment section and I had to give it a try, and that is something called Amphibia. Now, when I did it, apparently some people really resonated with how I was able to translate this and they thought I did a good job. But when I looked at the characters from the show Amphibia, I found a lot of things where it's like they had a lot of soft aspects of their character. Like their hair was not very pointy, it was very wavy and like rounded. So I went out for that for myself. Not very like broad shoulders either, very like curved shoulders as well. And then like the line work around the mouth. And then also, when I looked up characters with glasses, they have like a blue light to it, like a little blue extra accent to it. So make sure to add that for myself with the glasses over my eyes and over my skin. Putting that all together, drawing myself in the style of Amphibia, and please make sure to let me know in the comments if I did that style justice. And the next style, yet again, there's just so many styles that I'm trying where it's something completely new. People are throwing in the comments, I'm giving it a try, and that is something called Horrid Henry. I've never tried anything with this style before. Even when I try to put a hashtag Horrid Henry on TikTok, they're like, we're not going to do that. That sounds mean. So I want to give it a try. And there are a few things that stuck out to me with this style. They have like the blushing on the nose and on the cheeks. They have like really perfect circle eyes that are separated, but they're also like a little bit smaller than Family Guy with bigger pupils. And then there's a lot of line work in the hair. So those are all the little things that I noticed while looking at all these different characters and put it all together to drawing myself in the style of Horrid Henry. And the next style, we're now at part 106, and the next style is Lilo and Stitch, basically drawing myself as my own version of an experiment from the Lilo and Stitch animated series. If you guys were familiar with that Lilo and Stitch show from like the mid to late 2000s, that's basically a whole show where every single episode is a new experiment that is loose, causing chaos throughout all of Hawaii, and then Lilo and Stitch and Jumba and Pleakley, all of them have to try to find a way to capture them and then also turn them good. Such a great classic show. I love that show so much. It was so fun to try to turn myself into an experiment from that show. I took a lot of inspiration from a lot of different things from different characters. Every single character has certain things that are kind of consistent. They all have like the Stitch look of their face. Some of them have bigger chins and like smaller eyes with their bigger characters. Some of them just have certain variations. So I want to take a little certain variations for mine as well. I also want to add like some goggles like glasses as well, just so I can have my glasses in there as well. Add a little bit of like hair on the top and on the back. I also added some like different looking antennas, and then also just throwing in some like some textures and details in the shoulders, and then also in the antenna, just to make it look a little bit different from Stitch and other characters, trying to make it my own. So that one was super fun. And then since blue has kind of been the color that I've been using for like my shirt, I did accidentally kind of make it look almost exactly like Stitch, just with some slightly different variations in the blue color. I do want to make sure I say that that was accidental. I want to make sure I'm going with the blue color scheme, so it did look a little bit like Stitch, but I still try to make it my own when drawing myself as a Lilo and Stitch experiment. And the next style, part 107, yet again another style I'd never done before, and that is Owl House. Now this is a show, again, I had to just do my own research, look at the characters and see if I could find the vibe that matches my look, and I found a few things that were interesting. So specifically with the eyes are sometimes the first thing I'll look at to see what's different and what's unique about it, to see how I can translate it into my own drawings. So with the eyes, they're basically like circles, which is like the inside is not completely line worked in, not completely shaded in. So it's just like a C shape for each eye, and then there's a little bit of white space here that's not colored in with line work. So I found that interesting. They also have fairly detailed eyes with pupils and highlights, and they also, I noticed their shadowing almost had like a purple hue to it, so I found that very interesting. So I try to take all those different aspects, put it together, add aspects of myself when drawing myself in the style of Owl House. Now this next one, for some reason, is just a favorite of mine out of this new batch so far, and that is Animaniacs. Now you can look at that and say I didn't do a whole lot of different aspects with it, with how the Animaniacs characters look. I want to add just a little extra fluff to the hair, just kind of make it look like mine, with like the spikiness on top and the longness in the back. And then I also wanted to add my glasses, and for some reason I was gravitated towards making them really big and blue, kind of reminiscent of like classic cartoons from like the 90s. That's just kind of what I think of when I think of characters with glasses from that time. Just big blue glasses with small little pupils. And I also want to add like the big red nose and changing the hair color to be my hair color. All those different aspects, putting that all together, drawing myself basically as an Animaniac. Now this next style is kind of a 2-for-1. The next style is Batman the Animated Series. So for this one, as you can see by this basic one you see right here, I took inspiration by the look of Harvey Dent and Jim Gordon in the show. I figured that Jim Gordon kind of had similar hair to mine. He also had glasses. I went off of that look with like, and also the eyes with just the line work on top and the pupils. And then also some aspects of Harvey Dent, putting those different aspects together when drawing myself as a Batman the Animated Series character. But I do also love the look of Two-Face in Batman the Animated Series. So I wanted to take that and kind of draw myself as a Two-Face version of myself in the style. So it's a little bit of an extra drawing that I decided to make, which I thought was really fun. I took a lot of inspiration not only from the BTAS version of Two-Face, but also this Lego version of Two-Face where he's got the purple side of his skin and the orange suit. I love the look of that. It's probably my favorite Two-Face look, and it's from a freaking Lego. I love it so much. So I put those different aspects together, drawing myself in the Batman the Animated Series style of just normally as myself and then as Two-Face. And now for the next style is American Dragon Jake Long. Now you can look at that and say, I basically took the look of Jake Long in the show and used that as very heavy inspiration. And you're right, I took a lot of inspiration from other characters with glasses, and the look of different characters in the background as well, to put that all together when drawing myself as Jake Long. When I saw, I just love the look of Jake Long with the black hair and then with the highlights of the green. So I just took all that, added my hair color in there instead. And then I just also love the aesthetic of the show. Like that era of like Disney XD is such a very like nostalgic era for me. So I love being able to put that all together, drawing myself in the style of American Dragon Jake Long. And now the next part 111, is a show that it's crazy that it took me 111 styles to get to it, and that is Naruto. Now you can look at that and see exactly where I got my inspiration from. Basically using Naruto is very heavy inspiration, but obviously I wanted to use that as very heavy inspiration because he's the main character, he's the title character. This is a show that I've only seen very little of, but I'm somewhat familiar with the look of it and the anime style with it, so I followed that very heavily. I want to give myself one of those headbands that they have in it, but you can see in the emblem on the headband, it's my logo, the DW logo. For those who may not know where that came from, I used to do this a lot because I played basketball growing up and in high school. So this, I kind of took the look of this and turned it into a DW. That's where my whole logo kind of came from. But anyway, I wanted to make sure I added like the highlights and the shadowing where it's fit, and like the hair, my face, my glasses, stuff like that. And also giving myself like the zip up turtleneck thing that they wear in Naruto, putting that all together, drawing myself in the style of Naruto. Now this next one, part 112, is definitely a deep cut that I'm sure many of you don't even realize is actually a thing, and that is the Ace Ventura animated series. Now, I grew up being a big Jim Carrey guy. I loved the Ace Ventura movies, and then I went to like Family Video one day and discovered that there was a whole animated series based on Ace Ventura. I don't think it was very critically acclaimed at the time. They also didn't have Jim Carrey doing the voice, so it was a little bit weird, but the aesthetic of it, I love the way that Jim Carrey's, I love the design of Ace Ventura, and obviously his hair is quite similar to mine, I would say. So I went off the look of Ace Ventura basically because I couldn't find any photos of any background characters either. Taking off of that, adding aspects of myself, adding my glasses and the look in my shirt as well. And I also want to add my cat. My cat's name is Wahito. I want to add her to it simply because it's Ace Ventura. He loves animals, so I want to make sure I had some occasions to add Mojito to that as well. And if you want to see more stuff like that, where I do some styles where I can add my cat to it, that'd be really fun. So let me know if you want to see more stuff like that. But took aspects like that, put it all together, drawing myself and my cat Mojito in the style of Ace Ventura, the animated series. We are now down to the last three of this update video, and these three are all very unique in their own way. The next one being Samurai Jack. Now, the Genndy Tartakovsky style is so awesome, especially with Samurai Jack, and I used just the look of Samurai Jack as very much as the template for this. Taking like his very like geometric square head, and the look of his hair is also very like geometric, so I went off of that. Also adding kind of like my own version of his robe, just with blue and like a gray with more of a blue tint to it, colors to it. And then also I want to make sure I add my glasses to it as well. I went with adding the blue like kind of hue to it for it. I'm not exactly sure why, it just kind of seemed to fit for me. And this show is also another example of just like the line on top and then the pupil, and that's all you kind of get for the eyes. So I went off of all that, putting that all together when drawing myself in the style of Samurai Jack. Now this next one, part 114, might just be my favorite of the bunch, and that is the style of classic Marvel comics. If you're a comics reader, you can probably look at this and see where I got most of my inspiration from. I got most of my inspiration from the look of like Peter Parker very early on in the comics runs, because you can look at the hair probably and tell exactly where I got the inspiration from. Because the hair of like the Norman Osborns and like the Sandmans and Peter Parker from back then is a lot of just line work, a lot of line work like that. So I went off of that, used that as very much as the template. When I saw those, I knew I wanted to give that a try for myself. So I put all those things together, and then also, again, Peter Parker being a huge inspiration for it because he's got the glasses, he's got the white lenses to it, and then putting all like the line work for the shadowing and like some extra line work in my shirt. All those different aspects, throwing it together when drawing myself in the style of Marvel comics. And this last one, part 115, might just be the most unique out of all of them. And you can tell just when hearing the style, you know exactly why it's most unique, and that is Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy is the like epitome of just gross, exaggerated, crazy cartoons. And I took a lot of inspiration from the look of Ren because he's probably the most like human looking character of the main two characters. Obviously Stimpy is much more animalistic, so I didn't really want to go off of the look of that. So I went off the look of Ren. Very exaggerated lip, very exaggerated pointy lip based off of the look of Ren. Also, I gave myself more of a human nose rather than his rat nose, whatever species of animal he is. Added more human aspects to it, obviously with my ears and my hair and my body. Went off of all of that, again, used Ren as very heavy inspiration when drawing myself in the style of Ren and Stimpy. So there you have it, guys. We're now 115 styles into the 150 cartoon style challenge. Make sure to keep throwing more suggestions in the comments. There is still so much potential for so many more styles I can do, because I genuinely think that when I reach 150, I could probably go to 200. So let me know if you guys want to keep seeing stuff like that. Let me know what your favorite style was in this video. And a lot of these drawings came from suggestions in the comments. It really garnered some of my favorite things in this series so far. So you guys just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing incredible work in the comments, giving me some incredible ammo for these videos. Thank you all so much for the love and support. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my videos. I'm so very appreciative of this platform I have. You guys are the best. As always, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Letterboxd. Again, really want to reach 50K here, 10K on Instagram this year. That'd be so freaking awesome. I do have some giveaways planned for that if we do reach those numbers. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day and keep on drawing.